Supplier showcase. My name is Saskia and I'm the event team manager at Heaton House Farm. I manage the team of brilliant coordinators that we have at the venue, but I also coordinate weddings myself. We are going to be speaking today to one of the suppliers who I've worked with on numerous weddings over the years. But before we start, if you can just give us a like or a hello so that we know that it's working, and then we can get on with speaking to Stefan. So, brilliant. I think it's all working. So this evening I'm going to be talking to Stefan from YSD Media. He is a videographer with lots of experience of shooting weddings. I have lots of questions for him this evening, but if you also have some questions, then please feel free to pop them in the comment box below, and then we will do a live Q&A session at the end. I've got Sarah on tech this evening, so hopefully everything will work. She'll be showing some video clips and some photographs throughout. So let's welcome Stefan.
Hello, Saskia. How are you doing?
Hi, Stefan. Lovely to see you.
Now,
I think we've been teamed up today because obviously we've worked on a lot of events and weddings together already. I also think we've been teamed up because we've probably got the craziest households. So I've got a 3-year-old and 2 bunny rabbits. You've got some children as well, and also a huge dog. So we'll be very surprised if we get to the end of this live without one of them video bombing us at some point.
Yeah.
So first of all, Stefan, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I run YSD Media, a wedding videography company based in Stockport, but travel all over the country and the world. I run it with my wife, Carleen. We've run it now for, I think we started in 2011, so that's part of 9 years now. And we run it with our four children. There's one of them now, just coming in, obviously, just as we start.
Right on cue. Hello. We knew this was going to happen at some point, so we'll just roll with it.
I couldn't actually lock the door because it's too hot in here, so I had to leave it open. So yeah, didn't. But this is Kings, and this is one of our. So this is basically what lockdown's been like.
I was going to say, what have you been up to during lockdown, other than trying to keep sane with the children?
It's gone like that North Korean that BBC interview already. So yeah, that's pretty much how lockdown's gone, to be honest.
I'm just glad it's you, not me.
I'm sure it'll come. But yeah, it's been like, look, I say the majority of, like, we've had quite a lot of like, obviously weddings. We had all of March's weddings, April, May, and now June, and everything now up until sort of the end of September that's postponed now until next year. So a lot of the time that we've been in lockdown, we've been trying to get our clients over to new dates, and so far we've been able to do it. But apart from that, like, I've learned some DIY. I've always been terrible at DIY. I've made some buildings in the garden. Found a few walks around the local area out with the dog, just trying to stay active, but mostly just drinking and eating, barbecue. The weather's been excellent. So yeah. But yeah, I think Sarah said before that we're gonna. I made a few videos that are about that, the kind of stuff that we do, like the videos that we've done at Heaton House Farm. That's going to be playing over the top. So that's just a selection of clips from videos, like from highlights. So it's a complete random selection that we'll be playing over during our chat.
Lovely. So, there's a picture of you now at Heaton House Farm.
Yeah, that's my boy Steve Bridgewood who took that photo. That was a couple of years ago now.
Lovely. He's also one of our recommended suppliers as well. So tell us, first of all, how did you get into videography?
So before I worked in weddings, I studied TV production at Liverpool John Roseborough at Stockport College, and then I got a job at the BBC. I worked there for about 4 years, and while I was there, one of my friends, Harold, he worked with another videographer called John Wilson. I think he's worked there quite a lot, and he'll love me for saying this like live, because whenever we ever he always brings it up. But I've seen some of his. I never even knew about wedding videography before. So Harold told me about that, and then I sort of started doing it just to earn a little bit of extra money along with my BBC wage. And then after like 2 years, the first year we did, I think, 2 or 3 weddings. Then the next year we did maybe 10. And then after that, I went self-employed, and now we're full-time wedding videographers. So yeah, it's been a good few years. Completely different to what I used to do, but good fun because I get to work from home, spend time with the kids. So yeah, enjoy it.
Lovely. And then obviously each videographer has a slightly different style. How would you kind of describe your style, your signature style?
I always find this a tough question to answer because for me, I don't really feel like we have a style. Like we shoot, every wedding that we shoot is it's a blank canvas essentially. Like we don't have we don't sorry, my message is coming out. We don't, yeah, I don't really feel that we have a style. I feel that every wedding that we do is a blank canvas, so there's no two weddings that are ever the same. So the kind of style that we do is like fly on the wall documentary style. We shoot, so we don't interfere in the day in any way, shape or form. Like nothing's fake that we shoot. We don't try and interfere in the day in any way, shape or form. The only time that really we'll have anything to do is if we do a drone shot of the bride and groom, which might be at Heaton House Farm. It would be over by the tree or by the water garden or out in the field like a cross. But yeah, I'd say our style really, we use quite a lot of drone, we use a lot of gadgets, we use just a lot of kit essentially to kind of make the films more as dynamic as possible. But I mean, we have I'd say we do have a particular style in the sense that we use quite a lot of slow motion. We do film the day sort of as it happens. But it's not just us. Like we're one videographer. Like there's so many talented videographers out there that like if any bride and grooms are watching now and are thinking about wedding videography, do your research because there's so many different styles of videographer out there. Like there's so many. There's pretty much everything you want is out there. So yeah,
it's great. We always love getting films back because I think it always, it's such a personal thing for the bride and groom. So it's always great to see them. So I know there was a few shots there of some weddings that you have done at Heaton House Farm, which is nice to be reminded of. So if anyone has got any kind of specific questions for Stefan, then obviously, as I say, please pop them in the comment box below. We will answer them at the end. So please feel free to comment throughout and we'll pick some of those out at the end of this chat. So obviously, as I said before, I have worked with you on a number of occasions and I've also worked with quite a few of the YSD Media team, but how many of the team are there?
Okay, so it's me and my wife, Carleen Elks, who run the business. So I do all that technical side, like the filming, the editing, and she's learning the editing. She's coming along. She doesn't like it as much as me. She deals more with the client, from when clients get in touch and the whole sort of journey up until the wedding day and then afterwards as well. And then with myself that shoots weddings, we have Steve. I think with Steve, there's me, Steve and Sarah with a lovely baby lamb at Cheryl and Mike's wedding. I think that was back in 2016, I think. And then we've got Reese, Alex, and then my little boy Dexter. He's 8. He wanted me to name check him. I told him that I was going on TV tonight, so I think he's watching. So yeah, we're training him up as our young Padawan. So he's getting there. He's getting there. His concentration's not that great at the minute. He's only 8.
Lovely. So it's nice to have a little insight there into the team, and I can vouch for you all and say you're all fantastic guys and girls. So tell us a little bit about kind of booking then. When do you feel that people should start to look at booking a videographer? Because I always find that that's the question that people ask us is when should they start to look at booking suppliers? So when do you feel they should start to look at booking you?
It's a tough one. Well, for me, straight away, like as soon as you book the venue, look, because there's so many different sort of elements to your wedding day. Like you've got your florist, you've got your decor, like pretty much everything to do with the day. That is all the stuff that your guests are going to enjoy on the day. Afterwards, you've got your photography and your video, and there's so many talented photographers and so many talented videographers out there. After the day, like I know from my own wedding, like I'd forgot everything that happened on the day. Like, and I had my family come over from Sweden. My sister came back over from Australia, and then like all my friends and family, like they're in one place. So to be able to watch that back, like the first, like what I would say to anyone is whenever you're watching a wedding film, you've got to imagine that none of your people are on the film that you're watching. You've got to imagine your people on that film, because the first time you watch a film, you'll be watching everything that's going on in the foreground. The second time you watch it, you're watching everything that's going on in the background. So it could be like your gran speaking to your primary school friend, two people that you never would have put together in a room, and like suddenly you're watching them back. So for me, videography and photography are so important because that is essentially all that you have, as well as your memories, obviously. But if it was anything like my wedding, we all drank quite a bit, and we kind of forgot everything that happened in the in the evening. So it's love, and also with our children growing up now, we've got three boys and a girl, and our daughter wasn't born on our wedding day. So for every Christmas we watch the film back. I say my wife, she watches it back like once a week. Like a nana watches it every few days. Like she has the girls around to watch it. But we watch it like every Christmas, and it's nice to see like every year how much the kids have grown up from what they were like on the wedding day. So again, for me, I think it's such an important thing to have is your photo and your video. And like I say, it's not just as I'm not trying to sell myself. That's just, there's videographers and photographers. There's so many. So just like I reiterate, to pick the style that's good for you.
Lovely, it sounds great. And so obviously you're saying do your research with your different videographers. So from your side of things, what sort of packages do you offer? What can couples expect from you if they book with YSD Media?
Okay, so we do like a number of different packages because we shoot all types of religious ceremonies. So we do custom packages, but I'll talk more about like the main ones that we do, which is the YSD package and the YSD Plus package. So the YSD package, that includes a feature film, which is usually 20 to 30 minutes, sometimes longer, depending on what happens during the day. And that's kind of everything's in a chronological order of what happens. So it'll be like some opening shots of the venue. So if it was at Heaton House Farm, it might be a drone shot looking over, and then we cut into some shots of the day. It might be people setting up, like the suppliers setting up. And then we cut into like the bride getting ready, and then like what's happening on the screen at the moment is like the dad seeing the bride for the first time. That's such a nice moment to capture. And I know on Lee and Joe's wedding there, Lee had never seen a dad cry before, so it was quite a nice moment to capture. But so how we cut the feature films is we intercut the morning with the bride getting ready and the groom arriving and meeting and greeting all the guests. So that's two things that you won't see before you get your wedding film back, and especially and with your pictures as well. So it's lovely to watch that back together because you'll see that how nervous the groom was, and like the brides and the girls talking like to each other in the morning. And then after that, the ceremony. So the ceremony is usually about 20 minutes long on the day, depending on whether you get married at a church or if you get married at a registry at Heaton House Farm. So I'd say 20 minutes, and we cut that down to about 6 to 8 minutes, I'd say. So we've got like all the main, most important parts of the ceremony. Then after that, we cut into like the afterwards. You'll have the I now pronounce you husband and wife. Then the bride and groom will come out, and we film all the guests like mingling, and that's what I was saying before about the grandparents speaking to primary school friends. That's when all that kind of stuff happens. So that the first time you watch it, you'll be watching everything that's going on in the foreground. Then after that, you've seen everything that's going on in the background. Then the day just kind of pans out from there. We tell the story of the day through the ceremony, the speeches, and then any other audio that we pick up throughout the day. So to sort of mention what that means. So a few years ago, we shot a wedding down in London, and the bride was talking away in the morning during bridal prep, and she was talking about like when she met her husband and how he was a bit of a doofus and how he fell over on the first date, and like I was filming that in the corner of the room, so she didn't know that we'd captured like all that. It was just a throwaway conversation, but it worked so well with him arriving at the venue. So I intercut like all of that audio. There was like about a minute's worth of audio, and it showed him like arriving at the venue while she was talking over him. And it was just like that kind of thing is so cool to like watch back. Because I know from my own, that kind of thing was in there as well. Through ceremony, speeches, any readings during the ceremony, we kind of tell the story of the day through that, and then we stick around until about half an hour after the first dance. And yeah, so that's the 20 to 30 minute film. The feature film kind of includes everything to do with everything that happens on the day. So it'll include like shout outs to the bridesmaids, to the ushers, to best men, grandparents, parents, all that kind of stuff. The highlights, which is on the YSD Plus package, that includes like, it's like 3 to 5 minutes, and that's preliminary. That's about the bride and groom. That's it's everything. All the speeches won't be about like grandparents, parents. It'll be about the bride and groom, and it's like that with the feature film. That is half an hour cut exactly how it happens throughout the day. So it'll start with bridal prep, go right to first dance. The highlights is a little bit different. And again, when I was saying about a blank canvas before, like I have no idea what a highlights is going to look like. The highlights is, it's just however it looks. I put all the bits on the timeline. Like, is it going to be emotional? Is it funny? Does everyone get drunk? Is it a big party? What kind of music am I don't know until I sit down in the edit. So that's the highlights is a really cool thing for sharing on social media. Or like, again, going back to my wife, she watches our film back over and over again with her friends. None of my friends have ever wanted to sit through like half an hour of my film. So the highlights is perfect for that. So yeah, I hope that answers the question anyway.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that I always like seeing the highlights as well, because I think it just gives you that kind of snippet of the day, and just gives you a real feel for the day and the couple as well. So they're always really nice and personalised. So it's lovely. So kind of going on from that then, what's your favourite part of the day? Kind of which places at Heaton House do you like shooting? Mealtime.
Opening recently now. I think like the whole wedding day is different, so it's hard to sort of every day is different. That's why I like this job. There's no days ever the same. Every wedding that we shoot is completely different. So I couldn't say what part of the day that I love the most. But at Heaton House Farm, I'd say that there's so many different areas to film at Heaton House. So you've got like the water garden, you've got the fields that are opposite Heaton House, where you've got a big dead tree in the field, which is a really nice backdrop, especially at certain times of the year when the sun's dropping right behind. But for me, like, it's over by the tree. You've got you're looking over towards Shutlands Low, towards Macclesfield that way, and then you've got the cloud. And if you shoot on different types of lenses, you can really sort of bring those backgrounds out. There's like I said, there's so many different parts of Heaton House, and especially like for using the tech that we use with the drones, that is such open ground. So there's so much scope to get completely different footage. And for me, layers are really important on film. So to get as many different sort of backdrops, as many different scenes as possible, just to make the film more dynamic is really important. And I think that Heaton House Farm definitely offers that from a videography perspective.
Lovely. So you've kind of touched on the drone there a little bit. So we're going to get a bit more techy now, even though I'm not technical at all, but hopefully you are. So we just wondered if you could give us a little bit more information about the equipment that you use to shoot the weddings. Sure.
So we use small mirrorless cameras. So we use Sony's. So they're small. I can't really show on the screen at the moment because the videos are still up. So we use Sony's. So small cameras most of the day. Like we sort of blend in as guests, and a lot of the reviews that we get and a lot of the comments that we get from our clients is a lot of people didn't even know there was a video for on the day. And for me, that's perfect, because as soon as you put a camera in someone's face, it frees up instantly. And that's not what you want on your film. You want it to be natural. You want everyone to be acting like the way that they were. So to use small cameras and not like them Del Boy Russian ones from Only Fools and Horses a few years ago, to use these is really important, because you kind of just blend in as a guest, and then nobody really freezes up on the camera, which essentially makes a great film. And then we use this guy. This is our small drone. We have a number of different drones for weddings and corporate ones, but this is the one that we use primarily on weddings at the moment. So we can get some awesome shots with that. And then we have a gimbal, which isn't quite balanced, so if it falls off, it'll be even more of a calamity than Kingsley walking in. But yeah, this is the gimbal that we use. So we don't use this much with just the bride and groom there, so like on portrait shots, but more for shots of the venue before anyone gets there, to get like all the setup shots and to get some really artistic shots. We use that kind of stuff. And then also during the day, we use small mics, so we mic everyone up, because sound's really important. So sound's just as important as the visuals. So to sort of use the small mics like this that we stick on to the groom and whoever's doing the speeches, the registrar, anyone doing readings. So we capture all the audio that's nice and clean. So when it goes into the film, it looks really professional and sounds really professional.
Lovely. So just to reiterate, if anyone has got any questions, we are going to be doing a live Q&A at the end. So if anyone does want to ask any questions, please pop them in the
so this video, this is me falling over at Heaton Farm and thinking about I think it was my second ever wedding. Can you play it one more time and I can sort of explain what happened there?
We'll let Sarah sort that out on the tech side of things, hopefully.
I just bought my new gimbal.
There we go.
That little green, there's a little green light there just under the tree. So I had no idea. I didn't pay attention to that. I'm running backwards thinking, yep, got an amazing shot. Didn't know anything about that green bit and then hit it. Absolutely.
You've never done that again though since, have you?
Yeah, I can't remember asking. I don't think they asked me if I was all right. I think they were just laughing too much, to be honest.
Well. So we quite often get people, if they've not booked a videographer, that tends to be one of their biggest regrets, I always find, after the wedding. So some people think that if they've got a photographer, they don't need to get a videographer, but I always find that that's not the case because they do two totally different things. So what would you say to a couple who have a photographer booked, but they kind of haven't considered a videographer just yet?
Yeah, I'd say it's a tough one because I remember a few years ago, Hannah and Ken, who were like really lovely couple, and I remember them coming to meet me at a pub, and Hannah really wanted to film, Ken didn't. And we sat down and and Ken's worries were that I was just going to get involved in the day. I was going to get in the way. And after I'd explained like how we work, similar to what I said earlier on, that we don't get in the way. It is just fly on the wall, documentary style. And like on the day, just he absolutely loved the film in the end. And what I'd say to anyone is that's thinking about it is like, that's what you've got afterwards. So you're only going to get married once or twice in some cases.
Hopefully not.
You only get married once. And so it's the only time that you're going to have all your friends and family in one place. The only time I was ever going to have like all of my family come over from Sweden, like all of my friends and my sister coming over from Australia. It was the only time I was going to do it. And I remember like in the lead up to our wedding, I was fuming with the missus because she wanted, she kept like adding things on. She kept adding like, she surprised us. We had a stormtrooper, we had Jack Sparrow, we had the band. We had like it was crazy. And before I was like, we're really spending this much money on a day. But then when the day comes round and you have all your friends and family, hi, there's us on ours, a younger, thinner me. Yeah, like it was such a good day, and everyone loved the day. So to have all that, to be able to watch that back in a film afterwards, as well as the pictures that we had, was really important, and especially like listening to the speeches, because by that time you've had a few drinks, like and I remember we delivered a film a few weeks ago, and the bride said before, she's like, I forgot everything that happened like during the speeches. And then after she watched the film and like the feedback we got, and I got a message off her dad saying how much he loved it, and like that, it's such a nice thing to be able to make that for someone. Yeah, it's really good.
I think the day is such a whirlwind, isn't it? And there's always going to be things going on that you're not there to see. So yeah, it's definitely a good thing to have for after the wedding, to have a look back at all your memories. So so kind of sticking with the photographer videographer, how do you make sure that you work really well with a photographer if somebody does opt to go for both a photographer and a videographer?
Well, it's one of them, isn't it? Like all the photographers that we've worked with have been awesome, and like we've both got a job to do at the end of the day. The bride and groom have hired both us and a photographer, so we speak to the photographer at the start of the day. We try not to get in the way. The photographer, like the only time that we really work with the photographer on the day is during the ceremony, because we might be both stood at the front. And then during the portrait shots, because we'll tag along with the photographer as they are getting their shots of the bride and groom around the venue. And apart from that, we just try our best to stay out of the way of the photographer. I mean, we've worked with some excellent photographers, like you mentioned before, like Steve Bridgewood and a number of others that we've worked with at Heaton Farm. So yeah, like that, we don't have any issues working. We're really laid back. Like we don't use big video lights or anything like that. So like, yeah, I'd say we have a good relationship with the vast majority, if not all, of the photographers that we've worked with.
Yeah, and I think it's also important for us all to work together. So obviously we got on very well as well. So when we're working on a wedding, we're also kind of all working cohesively, really, to make sure that it's the best day ever for the couple. So
Exactly.
if all suppliers get on well and work together, we're bound to get a good result.
Yeah, it's definitely important, because referrals are probably the most important way of keeping business. You know, like good reviews.
Definitely, yeah.
The photographers recommending us, like we get recommended off a lot of like amazing photographers, and it's so nice when we get a referral through, especially when I feel like on the day that we've got in their way, you know, like, and then a couple of weeks later we'll have a referral off that photographer. So yeah, like we have good relationships with pretty much all photographers that we work with.
Brill. And so after the wedding day, what kind of happens next? Can couples choose the songs that go alongside the films? You know, when can they expect to get the films back? What happens after the wedding?
So yeah, this is usually we say with all of our films like 10 to 14 weeks. That's pretty, we deliver the feature film first, then we deliver the highlights a few days later or a few weeks later. Then we deliver the ceremony and speeches after. But with all the stuff that's happened recently, like we've moved over 23 weddings so far from this year until next year, and there's going to be a lot more, I reckon, by the end of it, because there's still a few weddings, and like I hope they go ahead, like I really do. But I anticipate that we're going to be moving more over. So like our times this year, which is 10 to 14 weeks now, and last year, like that might change like next year, and like I wouldn't like to say like give that answer, because it could be a lot more than that. Like we want to make sure that we put all the time that we need to into each film. So yeah, I have no idea. Going forward, like I don't know what the answer to that question is, but the in regards to like the songs, like we use like a variety of different music that sort of tells the story of the day. We use like the music that like I said before about the audio with the I mentioned the bride who was talking about the groom. So we use different parts of audio throughout the day to tell the story. Then we weave that together with the music that we choose. But with every film, we give all our clients the opportunity to make amendments. So yeah, if you don't like any of the songs, then we can always amend them.
Yeah, I always feel it's, you know, obviously you're making the film, so it's best to leave it up to the experts. And I always find that the music that goes alongside it is always spot on. So works really well.
There's a vast majority of clients that like love the music instantly, you know.
Yeah.
And also, like, if you might love, like, I don't know, Christina Perri, 1,000 Years, or like, you know, some of like the main songs that, and if you have that throughout the film, like the first time you watch it, it's great. Second time you watch it, like, or the third time, the fourth time, it might start annoying you. You might not like that song anymore. So to use like the mood music that sort of like just captures today, yeah, I think it's good.
Something a bit more timeless. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, so then obviously, I mean, both of us have seen quite a lot of speeches over the years, but in your opinion, what makes a good speech?
Okay, so it's a tough one, because like whoever does a speech on the day, it's all relevant and personal to those people. So like whatever speeches works for whoever like your guests are, like it is great. But like for me as a filmmaker, like if the father of the bride, he can tell like a story about the bride. He can talk about maybe when she was growing up, or when he saw her for the first time, how he felt when she was walking down the aisle, or like the groom, if he's talking about how he met his wife, how he felt when she was walking down the aisle, like a story about when he was getting together, like all this kind of stuff I can put into the film over the shots of what's happening. So it might be like the best man talking about something that happened on the stag do, and then it might be all the lads like arriving in the morning at the venue, and they're all having a laugh, and then like during the speeches everyone laughs, and I can kind of cut to that moment, you know. So for me, like, yeah, there are some things that really sort of lend themselves to being in a film, but again, it's a wedding day, so like I would never recommend for anyone to do anything in regards to the speeches. That's just do whatever. It's hard. I've been best man. I've done a speech in my own wedding. It's hard. Like yeah, I'm not a great public speaker. Like I'm really nervous now coming on here. Like so it's just, I don't know. It's Yeah, it's hard to sort of really say what makes a good speech. A lot of it, like I love the stuff that isn't Googled, because like whenever you, because it happens like constantly at every wedding. There's always like one Google joke, or two jokes, or three, or an entire speech could be, which is great for everyone on the day. But it's hard to sort of implement that into the film, you know. Like original stuff, I like original stuff.
Long-winded. Yeah, no, I agree. So moving on to something a little bit different. So one of the girls in the office, Olivia, she was supposed to get married in March. She's actually had to postpone a wedding, obviously due to the current circumstances, to December. But just before we all went into lockdown, we did have a hen party, and we actually used one of your kind of sister companies to YSD Media, one of your branches of YSD Media, to put together a little snippet for us of the hen party. So it's something I just wanted to bring up because I thought it was quite a nice idea. And if anyone else did want, you know, hen or stag or any other occasion, kind of putting into a little feature film, I thought it was quite a nice idea. So do you want to tell us a little bit about how that works?
Yeah, I'm surprised you're actually playing this film, because I know what happens later on in this film. So hopefully you can cut it before it gets to that point.
Hey, I'm hoping so too.
But yeah, we set up like our sister company, which is Dexter's Video Lab. Shout out to Dexter again. We set it up because we whenever we were going on holiday, we were taking like clips on our phone of like, you know, like the kids jumping in the pool or going playing football or whatever. And we just ended up having like loads of clips that we never did anything with. So like I started putting together short snippets of films like from when we went away. And we just thought like we had quite a lot of people ask us about how we did it. And oh, the door's going again. 1 second. Oh, yeah, someone again. Sorry. This, just sorry. This is Dexter, by the way.
He's coming right at the right time there to talk about Dexter's Video Lab.
Yeah, so this is the man behind. This is the man behind Dexter's Video Lab, the man himself. He's had his lockdown haircut.
Hello.
So yeah, we were making like films about when we were on holiday. So when people started asking us how we made them, we'd make some stuff for them, and we just thought, yeah, it's quite a good business idea. So we started making like home videos for people, and like you say, hen parties, stag parties, stag do, sorry. And like during lockdown, we've had quite a lot of videos for like people's birthdays. You know, people can't have birthday parties because couldn't get together because everyone's at home. So we've made quite a lot of like birthday messages. So people would send in like birthday messages, and we put them together. So I've been teaching Dexter how to edit with that. So he again.
I hope he didn't edit the hen party.
I know. I wouldn't bring through that, Saskia.
That's good. A bit young for that.
We'll have it cut off where it did. That's all.
I'm glad we cut where we did. Yeah. Olivia will be very relieved. Brilliant. So so what we did on that was we just sent you through a load of video clips from that night, and then you just put it together into a little short video for us, and we actually gifted it to Olivia after the hen party, and she was very pleased with it. So if anyone does want hen or stag videos or any other occasion, then if you want to visit Dexter's Video Lab, I think Sarah was going to pop up the website for you. Maybe not. Oh, there we go. So yeah, if you just follow that link, and it'll tell you a little bit more information about how that works as well. So I think I have just a little bit as well, just to give you a little bit more on that. Is another idea is maybe like Zoom virtual hen and stag do's are obviously taking place at the moment. So we're having a chat earlier and saying that it could be a possibility if you can record from Zoom and send that footage over. Anything that you can record, Stefan can put it together into some sort of little clips for you. So have a think about that.
We're a little bit quiet this summer, so we've got plenty of time.
Plenty of time for editing. So as I say, I've asked all my questions now, but we're just going to see if anybody else has put any questions in the comments. we'll let Sarah just pick a couple out for us. Okay, so this question is from Jessica Rose. This is, oh, hello. I know this bride. Just spotted our wedding. Whoop. Highly recommend Stefan / YSD and Heaton House Farm. Fantastic video. We will treasure forever. So that's not a question, but it's a very lovely comment. So yeah, so I did spot them in the videos there as well. So lovely. Any other questions, Sarah? Oh, you're just getting a load of praise here. I think we need to stop this. Your head will get too big. So it says, we had YSD for our wedding in December. Stefan was amazing. Cannot recommend him enough.
You shared that film last night, Emma-Ian's film, on Facebook last night. If everyone wants to have a look at it.
Yeah, thank you. I saw that. You're getting away with the questions here, Stefan.
Oh, no.
Here's one of my brides. So Saskia and Stefan both worked on our wedding and were both exceptional in their respective areas. Woohoo! Thank you very much. We're going a bit red now, aren't we, Stefan? Oh, here you go. Here we go. Here's a question for you. So, hi to you both. Stefan, what does YSD stand for? Love you, really.
YSD stands for, like, back in the day when we were looking at, like, this is John Wilson's fault, John. So John, if you're watching, this is your fault. But we were looking at, like, I thought. I hate you, Rob.
Is this been asked by someone you know?
Yeah, it's Rob Clayton. Yeah, I know Rob. So we were trying to find something that wasn't too cheesy, but like, sort of fit in with the vibe at the time. So YSD actually stands for Your Special Day. So yeah. So thanks for that, Rob. But we go with YSD these days. We're a lot cooler.
Is Your Special Day too cheesy for you? I think it's a lovely name. Okay, so we've got another question. Hey, do you offer, or is it included in any of the packages for full ceremony and speeches? So I'm not sure whether that's just full ceremony and speeches or whether.
Okay, so do you offer, or is it included in any of the packages? So we like the packages, the standard package that we do, just to go on what we talked about before, is the highlights is 3 to 5 minutes, so that's based on you guys. That's the YSD plus, so that'll be primarily about the bride and groom. So it'll be speeches like father of the bride, groom, and best men, plus whoever else does new speeches. Any readings? Oh no, we've got an update on that. No, in addition to. So I don't understand the question. So in addition to the
feature.
So in addition to the feature film.
I think it means you get the full break, like, so the full speeches, the full ceremony, like just the raw footage as it is, without any editing.
Exactly. So we used to deliver our films, and it used to be like an hour and a half, and we used to include all the ceremony and all the speeches in there, and we sort of adapted that a few years ago, so you still get the full ceremony and full speeches, but they're separate films. I know if it's anything like my speeches, like I waffled on my wedding for about 35 minutes, and like everyone was so bored, like with my speech. So like on ours, I'm so happy that we managed to take the best parts of the speech, if there were any, and put them into our film. So yeah, the answer to your question is yes, you do get the full ceremony and the full set speeches as part of standard of any packages that we offer.
Lovely. So we've got more. So this says, we have worked with Stefan on many occasions and he is awesome. Always a good laugh, super professional and fantastic results.
Professional, Saskia, remember that.
I'll go with the good laugh bit. No, I'm joking. No, you are always professional. Always a pleasure to work with, Stefan. So I think we are done with all the questions now. That was mainly just people giving you praise there, which is great. But yeah, so we're all done. But we are live again next week, next Monday at 7 o'clock. So if anyone does want to join us again, please feel free. It won't be me next week. You'll be pleased to know. It's going to be Guy Porteous, who is a pianist, and he is one of our recommended suppliers as well. And I believe it's going to be speaking to Guy. So he's fantastic as well. And we'll look forward to seeing Guy next week at 7 o'clock. Okay. So lovely to see you all. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.